Hello, welcome to How to Be a Dom, the channel that talks all about professional domination. Welcome. My name is Evangelline DuBois, and I am author of the first how-to book about professional domination. The book was titled How to Be a Dom, The Practical Guide to Becoming a Professional Dominatrix. It was released in 2011 and it has been copied out there. So here I am right now just giving you all the tea on the business. What I was inspired to talk about today was the business of adult babies and diaper lovers. So I've been working in this business for 16 years and I've seen a few, not many, adult babies and diaper lovers. And I find them to be very interesting because what they tend to go for is more of like they're seeking an emotional release, an emotional comfort, an emotional escape. Um, there is a sexual factor involved, but I would say it's definitely secondary to them being able to explore being a different age, perhaps even a different person at a different phase of their life, with support of somebody who will basically, entertain the fact that this is what they're doing. So it's a role play, it's an improvisation, and it's a way for a diaper lover is somebody who just enjoys the feeling of the diaper. So, but they also need somebody who can accept this. And a grown person wearing a diaper is not acceptable. So that's why they come to see me. The adult baby is a lot more elaborate because they want the whole package. They want to have the aesthetics, they want to have the support, like a mother figure. They want to have experiences that they would have at that age. So they want to, for example, be fed, some of them, and some of them actually hate being fed. Some of them want to color or play with toys. Some of them want you to like sit right next to them at the end of the session as they jerk off, which I don't really do, but I allow them to do that at the end as part of their session. So the part that I provide as a Dom is literally I am standing in for the mother. I'm not necessarily asked to dress in a sexy way or not, but basically, I don't get involved sexually with these clients. That's pretty much my rule across the board, but I like them because they're not there necessarily for sexual gratification. They're there for more of an escape into a world that's very precious to them that most people would not allow them to do or tolerate. So there's a lot of shame, there's a lot of secrecy, and a lot of these people have like a bag. I mean, many of my clients, almost all of them, have a bag of something. They'll either have a bag of stuff that they like to like torture themselves with, like a cock cage or, nipple clamps, bondage stuff, that sort of thing, or something more along the lines of a baby, like a diaper bag with little toys and things like this. And I think that's adorable. A lot of my clients obviously have a bag and a storage of feminine stuff that they do as well. So there's a lot of shame involved in the business, and clients come to see me because they need approval and they need a space in which to enact these important fantasies. So in session, the challenge comes in because the professional dominant has to change her normal behavior. So usually there's a spanking involved with a diapering, but there's not a lot of harsh treatment. If the client asks you to be degrading, um, you can do that. I mean, it's always your choice what you can do, but you can treat the client like a baby. You can treat them like a little child. That's what they're there to do. And part of that is scolding them and spanking them. However, it's really up to you. Like if you have a client that doesn't want anything, they just want support and somebody to be like a mother figure. If you can find that in yourself, you can go ahead and do that. But that's too far out of my comfort zone. As with many fetishes, these experiences start with a relationship or a sensual experience early in childhood. I'm going to tell the story of Mr. Diaper, who was my first diaper lover. He wasn't a person who wanted to act like a little boy, and he called himself a diaper lover, whereas I've had clients who come with a diaper bag, toys, and everything ready to be a baby, to even sit in a high chair and be spoon fed. So this client I want to tell you guys about, I saw quite a long time ago from the United States. Um, I'm in southwestern Ontario, and people will come from the United States to see me because there's not a lot of business um, around this part of Canada. I mean, we're the most populated area, Ontario along the 401, but I would be one of the first stops on the way to Toronto if somebody was coming up to look for professional DOMs in Toronto. Anyways, back to Mr. Diaper. So I had a long conversation with Mr. Diaper, and he told me that without really linking this story to his fetish, he told me that when he was little, his mother and sister used to dress him up like a little girl or put a diaper on them, and they would do this to him. I think partly because he had an issue at school and he didn't want to use the bathroom stalls in school to go a number two. So what happened was there was some sort of problem at school and there were no doors on the bathroom stalls. So Mr. Diaper as a little boy would come home to go number two. When his mother and his sister found out about this, they made some sort of a big deal out of it. I don't know why. Maybe it's just linked to them playing as children, but they would put a dress on him. And this became something, a part of his life that developed, I think, into this fetish. And the reason why it was so important to him was I found out later in the conversation that I asked him, "Oh, where does your sister live? What does she do now?" And he said, "Oh, she died about 10 years ago in a car accident." And it was really sad because he'd experienced this really intimate relationship with his family with, you know, these strange things, the diapers and the dresses. But that was intimacy to him. That was not incest, that was love. That was playing with each other. That was accepting each other and whatever you want to, you know, call that. It was part of him and it developed into a sort of a fixation. Now, after he told me the story about, you know, running home to use the bathroom and how his sister and mother would, you know, sort of trap him in a room and put a dress on him or something, I don't think it was a bad experience for him. I think there was a bit of humiliation involved. And you'll find that with male clients, especially, they will seek humiliation, and we don't really know why. I don't even think they really know why, but it is linked to those early relationships, or perhaps relationships with their peers in the neighborhood or at school where there's some sort of desire or hint at intimacy or something. And that innocent stuff can grow later into sort of a fetish or a fixation. And there's nothing wrong with any of this. One thing I learned right away when I started working as a Dom, I didn't have any experience with fetishes at all in my personal life. Like, I'd heard of it, but what I learned immediately, my first client, was these people, they don't need judgment. They just need support. They're not hurting anyone necessarily. And they, you know, I feel bad for people living in any society who can't express something about themselves, who can't explore something really personal to them that would give them a sense of liberation. And because we live in a capitalist society, our lives are not governed by our own personal will. They are governed by the things that we have to do in our days in order to survive and maintain some sort of a life. So, unfortunately, these sorts of impulses that people have take a back seat to what is expected of them. And that's why it's important for people to be able to have acceptance no matter what their fetish is. And I say that because adult baby and diaper lover is not normal. You know, we don't know many people that have this, but it's not wrong. And it's not linked to anything hurtful or insidious. It's something that is a emotional need that your client is seeking because they very much desire to feel like they're at a different age, to feel they don't have responsibilities in life, and to just have that liberation as part of their private life. and they deserve to be able to have a place in which to do that. Unfortunately, a lot of people can't afford to see me and they end up playing alone, which is fine too, but it might not be as fulfilling. Now, there is definitely a sexual side, especially for diaper lovers. Not every diaper lover or adult baby engages in sexual activities linked to this, but it can make, especially diaper lover, it can turn them on, it can give them a sort of a physical, it can put them in a physical space where they feel, um, I guess, comfortable to express whatever they want to express without being judged. And I think that's important too. So thanks for tuning into this video, and please check out some other videos. Pop a comment down below, like the video if you did, and if you are a diaper lover or adult baby, I would love to hear your thoughts or your experience. So thank you for joining me.